everyone, this is Tanya here from EduTV, and I welcome you all to yet another program of our series, It's a Matter of Principles. Today we have with us the principal of Sanskriti School, Jammu, the director principal, Miss Rohini Aima, and the host of the session for today is Miss Natasha Chopra, the director of TC Global, the Chopras. I welcome both of you to the session today, and Natasha ma'am, over to you from now. Thank you.
Well, a good afternoon from Singapore, Rohini. Thank you very much for taking some time out for this. And of course, a big thank you to EduTV, both Pranav and Tanya, for having us both have this opportunity to meet and talk to each other. I've just been reading a little bit about your profile, Rohini, and it's a very impressive profile, particularly about your transformational leadership. What we wanted to focus on today was the Year 12 exams. These students did not sit the exams in Year 10 because of COVID, and now they're sitting the exams. What would be your advice to the students, given that this is the first time and this is a big exam for them now? And I know there's a lot of anxiety both from the students and parents. What is your advice to them?
Yeah, good morning, ma'am. And first of all, thankful to EduTV and to you for having me here for this conversation today morning. Very rightly put across, ma'am. Yes, due to COVID, there were not formal examinations for the children and they were sitting at home. No formal, you can say offline education was being given to them. But of course, the teacher fraternity worked really hard, came up with the whatever possible resources they could use to impart education to the children sitting at home also. And being online, of course, it was an engaging period for the children. But somehow the writing pattern of the children, the writing speed of the children has gone down. That is what we have observed. Because they were attending the session, they were preparing for some little bit of testing, examination, evaluation, but that was through the Google Forms, which was in a very short format rather than the proper board examination format. So probably reading habits and writing habits, they have drastically gone down with the children. Once we started offline, the stress on the reading and writing skills was given more, and it's still being given to them. And with the examination, that's board examination, again being offline, the children will have to really work hard. The focus, attention that children used to had pre-COVID is gone down again. So the some measures in school, of course, we are taking, but at home also, when they spend a lot of time, most of the time at home, monitoring parents, that is equally important. And this is what we are right now communicating to the parents. We are having session with the parents more than the children, so that the teacher and the parents, they collaborate together for the betterment of the child, so that the attention span of the children, the strategies, how they can focus, how can they increase their writing skills and their, of course, the reading skills. This is what is the focus, and if they really concentrate on these 2-3 things, I think they will be able to do justice with them.
Right. So that's a very helpful perspective that you've given. Well, we do still have some time for the students to prepare themselves. Can you give any takeaways on specific activities that you think that the parents can do to help the students focus on the areas that you're talking about, the reading, the writing skills, the concentration? Because you're right, with all the everything being done online and the social media and all those distractions, attention spans, we all know, have dropped. So is there anything that you can really help us specifically?
Things that we are actually working on right now. One major thing is, as I told you, the counseling sessions for the parents and children simultaneously. We are going ahead with that so that they cut down on the gadgets time with the children, except for the study time on that. The time limit on the gadgets that need to be reduced. And this is what we are, telling to the children as well as the parents. Teachers are, of course, giving a lot of inputs and reinforcing on that. Second thing, whatever we are revising in the school with the children, if we are given a, say, topic 1 has been completed, the revision is being done in true letter and spirit, and that too in writing. That in front of the teacher, of course, the writing skills, we are working upon that rather than you just concentrating on the academic written part. We do give them some magazines or newspapers to go through them. Say a particular paragraph number 4 from column number 4 from a newspaper. So that is how we are giving them something different from the academic book. They find it interesting, what I have observed. So we tell them, okay, take these 15 minutes to read this. After that, you write about the little synopsis of what you have read. And some children will write and some will speak about it. What do you think about what has been written in? So both written as well as verbal communication is being increased, and impressing upon to read more and then write. So this activity is also helping them in doing these things, and we are telling the parents also to follow that. Even if the child is not studying SST book that has been prescribed, it's okay. You give them some, other magazines or some encyclopedia at home from where they read some portion, maybe one paragraph, they tell you what it is and write about it. So writing part, certain parents, everybody doesn't have time to go through the things what they are writing. So what we tell them that if you can just send this to the teacher, still go through it, whether you have done or not. This is another thing. And third thing, most important for the concentration is we are working on yoga part, ma'am. Every day in the morning in the school assembly, yoga has been made compulsory as a skill education for our children right from class 5 to 12. And this is wonders. We don't give elaborate on it, but 4 to 5 yoga asanas they are being done so that they increase their concentration power into it. So this is what we are following.
Okay, that's wonderful. So basically, we're talking about reducing gadgetry, distractions, picking up more reading, and on the writing, I think even just talking about their day experience or whatever they want to write about, maybe what they went through COVID, all that is really helpful. So that's very helpful for the parents. I'm very intrigued with what you said about the yoga classes, because indeed, this has been there for generations, and that you're doing this regularly. I also note that you're focusing on mental health and mindfulness and so on, which are all very essential parts because there's been so much focus on the academics. But we live in a society where parents still rear the child towards what they want the child to do. So I'm curious to ask you that you're giving a lot of a very diverse platform for your students. At the same time, how do you manage parental pressure when they say to you that I want the child to do, whether it's the government services, IPS, IAS, or engineering or medicine? How do you manage that when the student is clearly not interested or does not have the ability?
Yeah, very true, ma'am. Rather in particular Jammu sector, people are more interested either medical or engineering. The student has to study the science to go for the medical job or engineering. So to change that mindset, it's taking time, but it's really, I'll say it's heartening to say that people are changing the mindset, of course. But for that, we require counseling sessions again for the parents and the children from the experts. That is what we advise from time to time before they pick up the subject in class 11. This is essential that we take up right from class 9 for the parental session as for the students, so that by the time they come to class 11 to pick up the stream, the parents are fully aware that what my child is capable of, what his abilities are, and what his interests are. So we look into this, the child's capability, ability, and the interest. That is very important. And I am really happy with the new document that CBSE has, rather the Education Ministry has come up with. Lot many skill subjects have been added. Children who are not academically inclined too much. So we offer them these skill subjects also. If I talk about my, I'm offering them fashion studies, I'm offering them music, I'm offering them painting, I'm offering them media studies. And a diverse range of children, but even the toppers are feeling happy to have that subject as an additional subject other than the 5 subjects. So these kinds of subjects are really bringing some kind of change in the mindset of the students as well as the parents. But yes, still there are parents who want, no, my child has to take up science only, not commerce, not humanities, because he must become the engineer. But then, of course, as I told you, the number is again being reduced because we start focusing on these counseling sessions and assessment sessions for the children right from class 9. By the time they come to 11, most of the parents are prepared what their child wants, and they give them the liberty that it should be child's choice what he wants as a stream.
Well, it sounds like you've been adopting the NEP without the NEP having been there, and you're doing a lot of these things anyway, which is great to see. A lot of kids are now doing year 12, and some of them will have decided, but there will be a portion, a significant portion, who will not have decided which stream to follow, or are unsure. So in your school, I mean, given that you have been doing counseling since year 9, do you see that as a significant number, or do you think they've decided now pretty much what they want?
That's what I told you. In 11, most of the children are clear what stream they want to pick up. Most of them. 1 or 2 odd always is there, ma'am. So for them, even post-examination sessions, remain open. But then some of them, they don't want to go to college. Maybe they go to ITIs. They want to do kind of electrician's job or some kind of plumbing job. Or they want to, most of them, they want to, go abroad. So they want to do even the skill courses abroad. So that is okay with them. I mean, somewhere they are clear. If not college, I am going out, I will do only skill subject. So that way, when they are prepared for that.
I think it sounds like that your counseling at the school from year 9 is helping a great deal in this, because there's a large number who actually are very undecided, and then say, okay, once we get the marks, we will then see. In the world that we live in, I feel, given the work that we do, we see a lot of pressure that the parents feel and the students feel to do engineering and sciences, because they feel that in this world of technology, there's no room for humanities. I'm curious, or there's little room for humanities. I'm curious on your view on this.
I feel, ma'am, humanities subjects are the vital ones which gives you the insights, even if you want to study, the kind of character, the kind of skills you need to study even science, that comes from humanities side. Because that is a subject, that are the subjects rather which give them the scope, the insight, the depth to understand the environment around, to understand where they live, from which background they come from, what are their financial, implications if they want to go for science or some higher education. So humanities is the base for all the subjects, I feel. That's my perspective of knowing about it. Yeah. So if they're, say, taking sociology, for example, if I say, or psychology, I think these are the wonderful subjects which have better edge than the science subjects, I feel, because everything is linked. Even if I have to study science, I need to know of personally myself, who am I, what I want to do, what is my self-awareness, what is my self-discipline, what is my self-motivation. So human subjects give the insight to the person to know about them.
Well, that's very beautifully said, because this is what we tell parents when they feel that humanities are perhaps not worth doing, because the essence of our beings are in humanities. and the skills of reading and writing and being able to communicate are in the humanities. So essentially, they're both important, and then you can focus later.
There is major shift now in the job market also. If parents are looking for the lucrative jobs, if they do engineering or science, and if they feel, their major fear was that what will they do after studying humanities? N number of options available, diverse number of jobs available by doing humanities. So I think perspectives are changing, and it should change also, because person doing humanities or psychology have wider scope. Even for that matter, just doing literature in Hindi or English, they have options available for them. I think more than even engineering and medical with the humanities.
Because in this world of AI, there's a lot that's being taken over, and it's the creativity and the skills in the reading and writing which are becoming more and more essential. So it's wonderful to hear this coming from you, and the kind of influence that you're having on your school and the wider market. Well, I mean, thank you so much for this interaction. I've really enjoyed talking to you.
We need to carry forward the essence of NEP 2020 and give a wider scope to our children. Even for that matter, if you look into sports areas, so many options, avenues are there. To even online content, there are free certifications, the MOOCs are there. I mean, if the child wants to do something, it is available to them. It is the will of the child, what he or she wants to do. That needs to be looked into. That needs to be identified by the, I can say, parents and then the teachers also. If we identify that, world is theirs, I would say.
Indeed. And this is what we say, that there's another kind of AI that you need to look at, which is the ability of the student and the interest. And we need to put those together to help them. It doesn't mean there's any one straight line to a career path. It's actually a tapestry of many options that they can look at. And of course, we are now looking at an age where you will be developing your careers 6, 7, 8 times in your lifetime. So it's, in fact, these are very, very interesting times to explore yourself, and the world is open to you to explore any number of areas. Well, thank you very much, Rohini ji. Wonderful to speak to you. And I hope we can meet up sometime. Look forward. Thank you. Okay. Bye-bye.